Mike Nieheiser, founder of Beacon Rock Research with Mining Clips, and with me today is Darin Wagner, President and CEO of Balmoral Resources, that's BAR on the Toronto Venture Exchange. Darin, thanks for talking to me again.
My pleasure, Mike. Always a pleasure to have a chat.
Well, it seems like you just are in a great address, not just for exploration results, but also for some other current events happening. So why don't we just start at the top and tell me what's been going on?
Well, it's always nice when the second largest producer on the planet comes out and says, hey, the best place on the planet to be is Quebec, and they just put $2.4 billion of their own money behind that statement in an effort to take out Cisco. So that's obviously shone a bright spotlight again on the Abitibi. We saw just before Christmas Primero come into Canada, take out Brigus, also in the same belt. So, this, we harp on and about this being the center of M&A in the business, and it truly is. It's, it's kind of soul food for the gold miner. Come home when things are a little rocky, take out something in the Abitibi, and we've got one of the highest grade things going on in the Abitibi right now at Balmoral.
Well, what's interesting on top of that is that, you have such a, what I think is a great record with exploration results, numbers of projects, grades. It's almost a blur. So how do you keep that interesting to make people pay attention to what you're really accomplishing?
Yeah, I think for us, we've had consistently high grade exploration results, a bunch of new discoveries over the last couple of years, and yeah, it probably does get to be a bit of a cloud. That's a good problem, and we're okay with that. So really, for us, it's just continuing to reach out to the investor and say, hey, look, the gold space, the prices come off. You want quality. You don't want quantity. You don't want a whole bunch of low-grade ounces that aren't going to make anybody any money. You want quality ounces. You want them in a great spot. You want them with a team that knows how to move them forward. And we hit all those boxes. And, hey, if we confuse you once in a while because we have too much good stuff, we can live with that.
Well, there's always seems to be something to talk about. What do you see happening in the new year for the company and for the markets and maybe for the vicinity?
Well, for the company, we're about 10 days away from launching the winter drill program, so we'll have a couple of drills out on the ground. Obviously, one focused on that high-grade gold stuff at Martin on the Martin project up here on Detour. And then the other one, sometimes we hand you a free poker chip. And as we were doing our gold exploration, we've made a new discovery. It's a nickel, platinum, palladium discovery. Maybe at a really good time because the platinum market doesn't look, looks like it's going to move ahead. And we'll be on to drilling that in probably about 2 weeks, just after the end of the month. And so, really, if you're interested in Balmoral, you're focused on the high-grade gold. This is a free poker chip for you. If we hit on this thing, great. It gives us yet another leg on the stool. In the neighborhood, Detour is now ticking away. We tie on to Detour. We control 100% of 80% of that belt. So we control 600 square kilometers on their back door. And they're now the biggest gold mining operation in Canada. They're finding their way like most new producers do, but they're now beginning to move forward nicely. And we think it's a great story. You've got the biggest gold mine in Canada. You've got the biggest gold mining company in Canada coming back into that same space. And here we are sitting with expanding high-grade assets and control of the majority of the belt. So, we're really excited about 2014. Best part is we've already got the money to go and do the work. So we don't have to, club our shareholders on the head with dilution this year. We can just go out, drill our holes, talk about it a ton in the market, and move the company forward.
Well, I guess there's also an opportunity where the market is. I mean, this seems to be a pretty good conference compared to the last 2 to 3 years, and this might be an entry point.
Yeah, I think if you look at the space as a whole, the signals have been very strong that it's time to buy the gold stocks, not necessarily to buy the metal. I mean, your metals come off 33%. Stocks have come off, some cases, 100, 120, 140%. I mean, for us, with the great results we've had over the last couple of months, the stock's already doubled from where we entered the year. So we, basically gone from 30 to 57, 58 cents this morning, looking really strong, trading well. And there's a few others that are moving like that, but there's not a lot. I think the market's doing some sorting. It's picking out the better quality names, and it's putting money. It's putting its money where its mouth is, and it's moving that the quality basket of assets. So I do think the entry point now is really good and strong for people. There's still a lot of gap to close from where everybody was. And that represents an opportunity. So I think it's a great time to be looking at the gold stocks. And you want ones with cash, grade, location, management, all those things that everybody always talks about. I think we tick all of those boxes, and better yet, the stocks actually responding to news.
That's really exciting, and the market's looking for all those things, and that's the evidence.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's the evidence of what the market's actually trying to find. And so, it's looking at higher grade projects than it was, over the last few years. It's looking at safer jurisdictions. The last thing you want as a shareholder is to wake up one morning and find out that the government of the country that your company's working in just grabbed 20% of it. We know that's not going to happen here. We know the Quebec mining laws are all settled now for the foreseeable future. And, Chuck Jeunesse and his crew at Goldcorp have put a huge bet down on the future of gold in Quebec. And we're, in part the beneficiaries of it. So obviously we owe them a big thank you for emphasizing what we've been saying for, the last 2 or 3 years.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with me again.
Oh, it's always fun, Mike. Always appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Again, I'm Mike Nieheiser with Beacon Rock Research, talking to Darin Wagner, President and CEO of Balmoral Resources. That's BAR on the Toronto Exchange. Thanks a lot, and congratulations.
Great.